Hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to talk to you all about a recent post Epic made regarding the Brute and their vision on what they want Fortnite to be. If you like this video or find it informative, please do remember to give it a like rating, comment down below, subscribe if you would like to see more, and at the end of the video, I'm going to have a goal, something for you to do, and comment it down in the comments to see whether or not Epic's data was actually correct. So I'm going to read this post to start off with, and I'm going to have screenshots of it on screen. Post is titled Fortnite and the Brute. Hey folks, we've heard the frequent discussions, #RemoveTheMech, about the Brute and decided this would be a good opportunity to explain the Fortnite philosophy. The mission of Fortnite is to bring players of all skill levels together to have a fun experience where anyone can win. I'm going to read that again. The mission of Fortnite is to bring players of all skill levels together to have a fun experience where anyone can win. For example, everyone having a shot at that first elimination or victory royale moment and the satisfying feeling that comes with it. Right now, we know there are players out there who have never had that opportunity. Another part of the mission is to provide a spectacle and entertainment when playing Fortnite. Bringing these moments to the game every week means there is always a new way to enjoy and experience the game. The Brute was added at the start of Season X with this mission in mind. Since then, we have seen players who previously struggled with getting eliminations, acquiring more, while the number of eliminations earned by more experienced players remained steady. Brute encounters should feel like a unique engagement and not the dominant experience during a game. We made adjustments to the Brute within Arena in line with that goal. Specifically for Arena, we made the change to the spawn rate in order to reduce late game encounters. This was due to a higher number of players surviving in those circles compared to non-Arena modes. We're happy with the results, and below graphs represent the current state of the Brute eliminations across both Arena and core modes. And they have a graph here, and this is what I'm going to get to where I want you guys to do something and then come back to this video and comment. So they have an average Brute eliminations per game. In solos, the average elims per game is 4. Duos seems to be between 6 and 8. Squad seems to be about 6. And Team Rumble seems to be about 6. Arena solos is less than 1. And Arena trios seems to be about average 1 elimination per game. So just basically these numbers seem so fake to me, and what I want you guys to do is go play a match, just kill yourself off spawn or hide or whatever, and just watch the kill feed and make a tally every time a Brute gets a kill, whether it's solos, duos, squad, team rumble, whatever. Comment the game mode you're playing and how many Brute eliminations there were in the game that you were in. Just watch the kill feed. Anytime it says someone was eliminated by a Brute, make a tally and then come back to that video and comment this. Comment that, because I find it very, very hard to believe that there's an average of 4 eliminations per solo match from the Brute. Average of 6 and something from duos, average of 6 from squads, less than 8 in Team Rumble. That seems like astronomically low to me, and I feel like these numbers are, there's no way they're real. Like, they probably are real, but it just doesn't make any sense to me, because I feel like I see the Brute getting kills way more than that in-game. And regardless of whether or not the Brute is actually contributing to the kill, it's really disingenuous to act like the only impact the Brute has on the game is those kills. For example, let's say I go salty. There's a lot of people there. I'm having a fight off spawn and a Brute comes in. And then the way that Brute impacts my fight results in the other player killing me, because I have to play differently than I would otherwise, and then I'm caught out and another person kills me. I didn't get eliminated by the Brute, but the Brute certainly contributed to me dying in that game. Or if you get weak from the Brute and somebody else kills you, you end up killing the Brute, but you're exposed and someone else is able to kill you. There's a lot of ways in which the Brute impacts the game that doesn't actually show on the scoreboard, and it's something that you can't measure. So I'm not saying they should have stats on these things, but to act like, oh, the Brute isn't that big, that impactful because it only has this many kills a game, I think is really disingenuous, because it really warps the game and really changes how people play, and you really have to change how you have to play because of the Brute. The next thing I want to comment on is the sentence I read twice, and I'll read it again. The mission of Fortnite is to bring players of all skill levels together to have a fun experience where anyone can win. Basically, this sentence to me means they want people to be able to win regardless of how good they are at the game. And if you're like a bad player, like you're new to the game, you're not good at the game, I get that it can be frustrating to not be good at the game. But if anybody can play and anybody can be good, and the result of how you play in game is not directly tied to your skill level, then the game is even more frustrating to play. And why would those new players ever stick with the game? Like, let's say you walk into the game and it's just whatever. Some games you win, some games you lose, some fights you win, some fights you lose. You play the game for a couple months. You play several hours a day, right? And you don't really notice yourself getting better, and you don't really notice any change on how the games are going for you because of that time you put in. Would you stick with the game? I don't think you would. There's a lot of games that have large skill gaps that have very, very alive communities and are very like thriving games. These games might not acquire new players as much, but they keep their core players and they retain them much longer, and those players are much happier. Look at a game like Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike doesn't have a lot of changes. Most of the changes in Counter-Strike come about from player innovation. Like people find a new smoke or they find a new flashbang spot, and the new strategies are created around that, or new economic strategies on how they're going to buy or force buy are created, and then the game warps around that. Like Valve doesn't change the game every week or make sure that they make guns easy to use so that new players can get into the game. So sure, there's less players that play Counter-Strike than play Fortnite, but they have a more committed audience. And even though that game hasn't changed much since CSGO came out in like 2012, I believe, it's still a very popular game because the people who like Counter-Strike really like Counter-Strike. And the same could be said of many other games. But if you have Fortnite and you want everybody to be able to win and everybody to kill everybody regardless of skill level, but you also want esports to be a thing, but you also want like casual, like competitive players, I would say, like pub stompers to enjoy the game. Like I feel like they just try to appeal to everybody so that nobody is pleased at all. I feel like those casual players who can't get a kill probably have a lot of fun in Team Rumble, right? Because they're lesser skilled players. And speaking from my own experience, I got into Halo 3 when I was younger. I was about 12 years old when Halo 3 came out, and I didn't really play any of the Halos prior to Halo 3. So I was a new player, and I got into the game kind of late. And I was horrible at the game. But I played Halo 3 a lot, and I wanted to get better at Halo 3. I'd play Octagon with my friends all the time. I would watch MLG matches from pros and try to do what they did and learn from what they did. And eventually, I got better at Halo 3, and I got to the point where I could out-BR a couple kids a game. And then it got to the point where I could out-BR most kids a game. And then it got to the point where I was, like, predicting spawns and nading kids as soon as they spawn and getting really, really satisfying kills. And kills that were directly tied to the experience that I had in-game and the things I had practiced in game, right? And that's feels really good, and that is what keeps people playing a game if they want to get better. But if you get on Fortnite, let's say you're a new player, right? And it's frustrating to get better. And then you watch these streamers and they're all like, don't even worry about getting better. It doesn't matter. This game sucks. As like somebody who's practiced this game for hours, it sucks that I feel like these deaths are not my fault and there's nothing that I could do differently to avoid these deaths. So why would anyone strive to get better, and why would anyone stick with the game? I feel like making a game where anybody can win and anybody can get kills gives no values to those kills. Like Team Rumble. No one really values Team Rumble wins, you know? It's not like people, I don't think at least, I don't think people get a Team Rumble win and then they get hyped about that Team Rumble win. But you see someone get a solo win or a duo win or a squad win, especially players who don't win very often, they get really excited about it. Because, wanna know why? It's harder for them to do that. If it was really easy for everybody to win, that win would have no feeling and no excitement attached to it. And they want to say another part of the mission is to provide spectacle and entertainment while playing Fortnite. A huge part of that spectacle and the entertainment for those players is the like anxiety and the buildup of actually getting their first win or getting a win that feels satisfying to them in some way, you know? And if you make it to where everybody can get wins and everybody can get kills and everybody can get high kill games potentially because of the brute, none of that has value anymore, and everything is just going to feel very like meh when it comes to the game. No one's going to have any excitement. Nothing is going to matter. Why do you think people get excited when they hit like a cool no-scope or a cool clip? It's because it's hard to do. It's not something they did every game. If they were just no-scoping everybody they fought every game, there would be no excitement and no value attached to it. So I think going down this road with the brute is horrible. A lot of people are tweeting remove the mech because the mech creates a bad experience to play in. And to just brush that aside and say they want everybody to be able to win, I don't think that's a good thing. I think wins being something that are sought after is what makes BRs such exciting games for a lot of players. So that's going to be it for this video. Not really much balance talk in this. There's lots of ways they can nerf the brute. They can nerf the missiles, the damage, the amount of missiles it has, the HP of the brute. I think I saw Nick30 tweet that they should have weak spots for the brute. That way it's easier to battle in game. There's a lot of ways in which they could nerf the brute, but I don't think they're going to do any of it because they want everybody to win. So that's going to be it for this video. Let me know what you thought of it. Let me know what you think of this post from Epic, what you think of the brute in general. Also, if you guys could play a match and really pay attention to the kill feed and make a tally every time someone gets a kill, and then comment that down below along with which game mode you were in when you did that. That would be awesome, because I feel like their data is just massively, just really, really weird. So thanks for watching, guys. Like I said, peace out. Get height on these kids. What the hell? How are they not dead? What was he doing? Take the L? Okay then. Congrats. I don't know if that was on purpose or like an accident, because you know how there's that like replay emote button? I don't know. But let's get some GGs in the chat. And if you guys have not already, please remember to follow the stream and turn on notifications if you would like to see more. I do live stream Fortnite Battle Royale every single day, mostly just solos.